What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zebec today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, you guys, and let's get into it. It is the 16th of July, and here we are at 00318, 7 hours, 26 minutes left in the day. Consolidating still in our little box of glories. It might be called a glory box, right? This is a horizontal channel. I didn't draw it the best that the magnets mess with it, but if we're doing it like this, there you go. From this end, see, the magnets won't curve it. If I draw it from over here, well, okay, that wasn't a good example, but it typically curves. All right, now it's not doing it, but making me look like a full magnet. Consolidating here is actually a really good look, you guys. We did the same thing over here. You broke out a little bit, and then you went up. So do keep in mind, if you go lower, it's fine. If Zebec goes down to 0029 or 0027, whatever, you're fine. Okay, it could be a little fake out or a little higher low, whatever, not a big deal, and then you'll pump. But at the moment, that's not my expectation. I'm not calling for that. I'm not going to pretend if it goes down here, I told you this would happen, this is exactly as I predicted. No, but I'll be like, okay, well, we expected that. Not that we expected it, but we anticipated it. It's nothing that's going to freak us out. We're certainly not going to sell if it breaks out to the downside. We will anticipate that it just reverberates back to the upside, and yeah. It's not a big deal. I highly doubt that we go below this low. I'm very confident that is the low, especially with how you're consolidating here. I want to look at ZBCN on Bybit here because the volume, I think, is helpful. Low volume, very low volume right now, and that tells me that we are getting to the end of this consolidation phase. You're probably going to break out here any day now. Today, tomorrow, the next day, sometime next week, whatever. You can consolidate here for longer. If other coins are moving up and this coin is moving sideways, that is not bearish. Everything takes its turn. Everything kind of moves up at the same time whenever you look back at it, but day by day, they kind of take their turn, right? The coin that pumps 20% today will not be the coin that pumps 20% tomorrow. Or if it is, maybe it's having a fantastic week, but then the coins that are boring, they will have a fantastic week next week. They kind of cycle through, right? ZBCN was fantastic back here. There's some other coins that have been fantastic since, right? They take their turns, and that's okay. So be patient. Be patient. I know I'm talking to the wrong crowd when I talk about patience, or maybe the right crowd, depending on when you bought. If you bought throughout this range here, then you've probably got patience instilled in you. This is a cakewalk, but if you bought the top or you bought anywhere along the way, you're just waiting for this thing to go to new all-time highs. Have patience. We're almost there, okay? Bitcoin just continuing to be super volatile in this range, you guys. Crazy, crazy stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if we came back down. We really could even go lower. I don't know if we do, though. We found support at the 50. We'll see. We'll see. 15-minute time frames aren't always the most reliable either. I mean, we look at the 1 hour, it actually looks pretty bullish. We look at the 4-hour time frame, it does look pretty bullish. That's actually a very bullish 4-hour candle right there. Like we're ready to engulf last candle. Anyways, talking about ZBCN here on the 1-hour time frame. Let's get into that. Probably not the 15-minute because it's been so boring, so it's not going to really help us on that 15-minute time frame. Rejecting the 50. Overall, if we're being honest, kind of a bearish posturing on the 1-hour time frame. So again, you could go a little bit lower, but I doubt it's anything dramatic, right? Maybe down to 003, 0031. Again, you could see a slight little fake out to the downside. Maybe 003 is exactly where you go. 0029, 00227, whatever. Something in that area. Let's look at this real quick. You have kind of shaved this lower area, so let's just see. I mean, that weakens it a little bit, right? Low to high, 786, 382, 886, down to the 886 again. I mean, to be fair, with this look, normally I would expect that you go to the 1272 to the 1618. So maybe it is appropriate to anticipate a 00293 to 00273 area. Just because of this reaction, I actually don't know if I like this. And again, just because I don't like it right now doesn't mean I don't like it later. This doesn't change anything for what you've got coming, right? You're going to pump. You're going to recover. This is not a problem. But looking at it here, I'm a little bit skeptical. You haven't gotten oversold, which is a good thing, but you continue to go lower. And closing below this 886, if you do that, that basically opens up the doors to 00293 to 00273. I just doubt that you go below 00273. And if we're looking at this here, okay, let's see. Prior area of closing resistance there, wicking resistance there, wicking resistance there, closing support there, and wicking support there as well. I mean, that's in the upper ends of this primary target zone. I doubt you go all the way down to the golden ratio, but if you do, 00273 would likely be your lowest area to find support. You probably do find support right there at around 00285 to 00293, okay, something around there. You might not even hit the 1272. If it's a true fake out, I mean, you don't even have to go to the 1272, just something that's a little bit lower. But at this point in time, I suppose I would consider that. Depends. 21 minutes left. By the time you're watching this, if Zebec has closed below what is it, 318. If we've closed below 00318, then yes, probably lower. If we close below it and then we close above it in the next hour, maybe not. Maybe this was the fake out. But I would think that's the area that we go down to. And then after that, so now if we go down there, I will say, haha, I was right. No, I don't care. Who cares? And then after that, we will recover. We'll be moving up, right? A little bit of consolidation, fake out, just like what we did back here, right? You have this horizontal consolidation right here, fake out, and then to the upside. If we get a big wick, that should tell you something, right? Tell you that we're moving up, that there's a lot of buying pressure. At this point in time, again, guys, just keep it in your mind, who the hell's selling here, right? Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but the people who are holding now likely are the ones who've been waiting to buy for a long time. They saw the opportunity and maybe they FOMO'd in, or they bought back here, or they bought back here, they bought up here, whatever. If you've been holding at all from any of the days before, you're at the moment right now where you're aware that you've broken out of the downtrend. So you're not going to sell on a little pump, right? There's not going to be a whole lot of selling pressure is what I'm trying to get at. All the sellers have gone away. They had all the time in the world to sell. They had a very, I wouldn't say obvious top. It was a little shaky. It got me here, but very kind of obvious area to sell. And a lot of people bought up here. You know, it's if you wanted to sell, if you wanted to panic sell, you already did it. I don't think that this is going to cause you to panic sell, right? If you're impatient, maybe. So just temper your emotions. Understand that no matter what happens over the coming days, over the coming weeks, you're going to be moving up higher. By the end of this month of July, I wouldn't be surprised in the least if you were at new all-time highs, but at the very least, something around 0056 to 0063, something in that zone there. And then going into August, we should be seeing new all-time highs if we haven't seen new all-time highs already in July. When we do get to August, I would expect that the all-time high area that we hit at a minimum would be about 2 to 2.2 cents. At a maximum, 4.4 cents, somewhere in that. Is that right? Yeah, that is right. Just on Bybit. On the other chart, it would be 4.5 cents, but whatever. 4.4, 4.5, you might even wick a little bit above there. You could go to the money zone, the 2886, 3113 area, but I don't know if I would expect that personally. I think that we're being generous enough with 4.4 cents. Something above 3 cents, something below 5 cents is what I'm expecting sometime in August. And a little bit of volatility by the end of this week, maybe over the coming days. Maybe by the end of today, even you're below 003, and that is okay. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, all right? Take care of yourselves, and buy the dip. It's going to be a good dip to buy. If you did not get a chance to buy below 003 before, maybe what you did instead, right? You were planning on buying below 003, but you didn't. It went lower. It scared you. It spooked you, and then it pumped up here, and you're like, oh, damn it, I'm going to miss out. So you bought up here. That's okay. It's okay to buy a relative high because it's all relative. In time, you're not going to care. You're going to be a genius for buying back here, right? And on average, if you're looking at this range for what it is, you're actually buying at a pretty good area. Even here, you're buying at a pretty, like that's what, like a 40% discount probably from the high. Even if you bought this absolute high there, that's a 42% discount. So even the person who bought the top and FOMO'd the top, you are the inverse signal. You're fine. It's okay to buy the high. It's not okay to buy the high and sell the low, okay? Because the high is temporary. It's okay to buy the high as long as you can hold through the pain. And I have that conversation with myself. I'm a human being. I'm getting a little bit off the ZBCN, and this is more of like trading philosophy or investing philosophy. I am a human being. I have emotions. I'm not perfect. Absolutely not. I FOMO. Oh yeah, all the time, man. All the freaking time. Sometimes I FOMO and it bites me in the ass. Sometimes I FOMO and it works out. You know, just most of the time when you FOMO, it bites you in the ass. And whenever I do FOMO, I have this conversation with myself. I'm like, okay, these emotions are here. I want to get in because I don't want to miss out. I realize that I'm not buying at an ideal time. If the price goes against me, if it doesn't go in my favor, I will just hold through the pain. That's the deal I have to make with myself. I'm not saying you have to do that with yourself, but that's the deal I have to make with myself, because if you're FOMOing, you're succumbing to your emotions. And it's okay to do that once, to buy the high. It's not okay to buy the high and sell the low. Don't do it twice. Don't complete the cycle, right? If you ever FOMO, if you ever feel that those emotions come in, you're feeling like you have to chase, have that little monologue, that little dialogue, probably a monologue in your own head, where you talk to yourself and you say, hey, if I buy here, I will not sell if it goes down. I will only buy more. And the whole point that I was actually trying to address beyond just getting into that little part there is that even if you bought the top here, let's say you put $10,000 in there, that's your life savings, you put $10,000 in at the top, and now it's down here, all your money's in there, but you've been saving up over the past week, you have like $100 in your bank account, put 50 in there, whatever, save 50 for food, or if you got to pay bills, do that instead. There's no need to put more money in there, but even if you have a little bit of money, and that's because you've blown the load essentially at the highs, even if you have a little bit of cash left, 50 bucks, 100 bucks, whatever it is, if this goes where I think it's going to go, I mean, let's say it goes down to, let's say you're able to buy at 0029, okay, 0029. If that happens and it goes to where I think it's going to go at a minimum, that, let's just say you put in 50 bucks, okay, that 50 bucks will turn into, what's a 7.5x? So that's 350 bucks, right? That's free money. That's like half, well, maybe not half bills, like a quarter bills for most people, unless you're living in your own house. It might be less than half, or less than a quarter. And at the maximum, what I could see it doing, 50 bucks could turn into 500 bucks, 750 bucks. It could turn into something much more than that, right? Let alone 100 bucks, let alone more than that, right? So there's nothing wrong. And this is something, I'm just talking about this right now because this is something that I've found is helpful whenever I'm investing, right? There's nothing wrong with putting in the scraps, right? Chip away, put those scraps in there, and they'll turn into something a little bit more than just scraps. Anyways, I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. None of this is financial advice. I'm just sharing my opinions based on my experience doing this stuff, right? That's all. So take care. Bye-bye.